Okay, so today what we're going to do is a portrait shoot. We've got 3 very lovely models, gorgeous looks. One of the greatest things about working with models is that, you have a chance to interact with them. To make a really good photo, I believe that, you have to have that connection. I think it's very important that you communicate quite clearly exactly what you're trying to portray and just give simple directions. We have a very simple lighting setup today at the moment. We'll maybe expand on that a little later, but it's just a single light which will shine on their faces and give me a little bit of moulding on the right-hand side. So it's not a really creative lighting setup that we have, but what we're going to do is work with the personality of the models and the compositions. So let's see how it goes. So I've positioned my models. I'm going to adapt their positions a little bit for my shooting standards. So, Lauren, I need you in a little bit tighter on the left. Michelle, I'll get you to move in a little bit actually behind him because it's going to be quite a tight shot. And I still need that angle of your body. So maybe you can almost lean away. No, the other way. Yeah. That's actually quite lovely. Heads together a little bit. That's it. Good. Okay, keep moving your head, Jack. That's it. Turning around, looking at the girls occasionally. That's it. Yeah, like they've just cracked a really great joke. Okay, guys, so Lauren, can we just have you moving in just slightly? And Michelle. Now, the interaction is really important between the 3 of you because that's the thing that gives life to the photo. And so I want you to chat and smile and laugh and go, wow, we're the best people that we've ever met on the entire planet and we're all brothers and sisters. Lots of angles, lots of smiles to camera, occasionally look up, and occasionally what I'll do is I'll call out to you and get you all to look towards me, okay? So, few angles, give me a few angles. Yeah, arms on the shoulders. Yeah, that's great. Touching one another, that's it. Great, excellent. Have a bit of fun with it, guys. You can push one another and try not to punch. Okay, these guys are brilliant. Loving it. We love that interaction. We love the interaction that the models have with one another because that gives life to the photo. Now, the way that I'm actually shooting this technically is with a fairly decent aperture because I've got 3 people and they're slightly staggered. So as you recall from the earlier lessons, the greater the depth of field, the higher the aperture numbers. The shutter speed is roughly at about 160. That's a really good shutter speed because they're moving around a little bit. Anything less than that, you can get a little bit of blur, which can be effective, but also it can detract from a shot like this. This has been very styled. They're all in white upper parts, and we're looking very much at trying to keep a clean, natural, joyous look. Okay, so with the first photographs that I shot in this session, I used a more limited aperture of 3.2. Now I've put the aperture up to f8, and that will give me a greater depth of field. We'll be able to examine the difference when we look at these photos, just to make sure that the front and the back models are completely sharp all the way through. Back again, same sort of thing, laughing, interacting, having a wonderful time. That's it, really moving it around. Come on, move it up, girls, move those bodies around. You're getting your legs are stuck in the same spot, so pick them up, move them around. Like, you always want to keep sort of dynamic. That's it, lean into one another, that's the one. Okay, Jack, laughing at the girls, laughing with the girls. Okay, moving in tighter, you're moving too far away from one another. That's it. Yeah, that's good. Michelle, Lauren, you sort of come in and get a little bit tighter in with Jack too, okay? So even if you've got to throw your arms around him. All right, let's keep it moving. That's it. That's great. Beautiful. Holding one another's hands is excellent. Looking at one another. Okay, beautiful shots. Beautiful. Loving it. Moving your head around a bit, Michelle. Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually just set 2 of you up together. Again, when you're posing a model, we have a situation where Michelle, our model with the short skirt, is now sitting on a stool. Very important how you shoot this. First thing you should say to your model is turn your legs away from the camera so that I'm not shooting in inappropriate areas. Always crossing your feet at the ankles is lovely. sometimes putting your hand onto the front of your, bring that hand over, and sitting up nice and straight. This is the biggest mistake that most models make. They slump and it looks terrible. Now, Jack, what the idea is here is Michelle is, we're going to pretend that you're getting married, and this is the engagement photo. That's quite a common situation with photography, that some of your friends might get engaged. So this is a great scenario to understand. Aperture again is set at f8. The shutter speed is around about maybe 125 on this particular example. What is really important is to get the dynamic between the engagement couple really clear. Yeah, that's nice and casual. I wouldn't mind a bit more contact. I mean, your hand is great right there on the back of the chair, but maybe you could put your arm on Michelle's waist. Yeah, round her waist, actually, because the thing about that, you're getting to know one another quite Now, can you bring your hand up and, hold his hand? Yeah, it's nice. You look real. We know that it's all fake, but you do look great. Now, Michelle moving around, really relaxing. Yeah. That's it. That's great. Looking at him, eyes up to him occasionally. That's it. Beautiful. Smiling, laughing. It's great. So a classic portrait lens is a 70 to 200 mil lens. It gives you enough distance from your models to be able to keep the energy flowing but not be in their faces. It's also a far more flattering lens because it compresses the image, so your features flatten out. So if you're looking at photographing any kind of person at all, the most flattering lens to use is a portrait lens. So you can see it's a long lens. Okay, now with this scenario, we've got Lauren and Michelle together. I've just asked them to imagine that they've known one another since they were 12 and they're going out for a girls' night out. So we're going to have some giggly fun. I'm going to turn the aperture down a little bit. So I'm going to let a little bit more light come into the camera because I'm thinking that my other exposures are a little bit dark. We want this light and frothy. So we want to replicate that with the lighting that we use. Okay, so can I just get you to move over a little bit? That's the old shuffle. We love that. Okay, so it's now just giggly girdies, all right? And lots of curves and being fun with one another and occasionally looking there. That's it. And back to back occasionally. That's it. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a classic shot. And front to front. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that's lovely. All right, they're very giggly girdies. So that's a lovely dynamic that we got there. You guys are really great.